Oh, great.
Okay. All right. Hi, my name is Dr. Grace Smoker. Today on Undercover Diseases, our special guest, asthma, lung cancer, high blood pressure, and diabetes will be interviewed on their vacation through the respiratory and circulatory system. All right, let's bring out Asthma, who recently just visited the respiratory system. Come on out, Asthma. So, Asthma, how was your visit to the respiratory system?
It was great. I loved it. I stayed there for a long time. And I really enjoyed it.
Nice. All right, so explain who you are.
Well, what happens is when I go to an individual, their airways become swollen and tightened.
Okay. So how do you affect the body system, like the respiratory system?
Well, the airways become inflamed, which causes them to have shortness of breath, and they kind of have trouble breathing.
Okay. So is it mostly during exercise that they get this?
Yeah, during exercise, or if there's been like smoking, and other like allergy prone things that like cause allergies, like pollen and like pets.
Okay. And how are you treated?
What happens is when an individual inhale some common control drugs through an inhaler.
Plug it in.
Yeah.
Nice. So how are you prevented?
It really can't be prevented. Just you need to control your exercise or make sure that you're not around things that cause asthma if you're diagnosed. But
Like,
it's usually hereditary,
yeah.
but not always. And
You visit the doctors.
yeah, people visit the doctors usually when I infect them.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. Sounds like you had a wonderful time.
Woohoo! Asthma!
Thank you, Asthma. All right, now let's bring out lung cancer. So how was your trip?
My trip was great. I also stayed a long time, like Asthma.
Okay, well, so explain who you are.
I am lung cancer. I am an uncontrolled, highly fatal group of cells that gathers in the lungs, and in many places it is the most deadly kind of cancer.
Okay,
Woo!
how do you affect the body system?
Well, lung cancer is mainly caused by smoking, and it can include coughing, loss of weight, trouble breathing, vomiting blood, chest soreness, and hoarse voice. And you can also die from getting it.
Does it usually stay a while?
Yeah, it usually stays.
Okay, so how is it treated and prevented?
Well, you can get chemotherapy, and it chases me away for a little while, but I go back
You go back, okay.
most of the time.
What are like the symptoms that you give people
Well, like I
when you're
said,
in them?
they get coughing, they lose weight, trouble breathing, things like that.
All right. Wow. It was nice.
I have a
Our
question.
audience
I
members.
have a question.
Okay. Question.
Is lung cancer the same as breast cancer?
Oh my lord!
What?
Don't! That's a blooper, guys!
No, it's not the same thing.
I think lung cancer happens in your lungs and can
Yeah,
spread throughout your
but
body.
yeah, I can spread throughout the body and take over.
Oh, wow. Sounds like that was a pretty interesting vacation
It was
through
great.
the respiratory system.
Yeah, well, I was staying in the lungs, and I got kicked out by the manager, chemotherapy, so I was forced to leave. But I'm probably going back, and I might even be staying there for my whole life. Moving there.
Nice vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Thanks. Thanks. We will be right back to interview diabetes and high blood pressure after this short message.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, really?
Did you
Come on.
Oh, hey, Ani. Where'd you get the tan? You look great. great.
Thanks, Bailey. I just got back from my stay at the human body.
Cool. What parts did you visit?
Well, I visited some of the major systems and I learned how they work together so that the human body can function.
What else did you learn?
Well, I mainly was there for the respiratory and circulatory system. It turns out that the respiratory system, it helps you inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Then for the circulatory system, it transports this oxygen that you have inhaled throughout your blood and throughout your body.
Cool. I've been looking for a vacation for so long, but they all seem to be so expensive.
Don't worry, this is only $10. Plus you get a free t-shirt and water bottle.
Really?
Yes.
That
I
sounds
also
amazing.
learned that some of the major structures of the respiratory system are the lungs, diaphragm, and trachea, and in the tubes that you inhale the oxygen with. The air passages.
I've heard of those.
That's great.
That sounds cool.
And then I learned that the respiratory system, those main structures are the heart, blood vessels, and blood.
That sounds cool. I think I should go get my tickets right away.
I think you should.
Bye.
Bye. This message was approved by the human body. We are not responsible for death, injuries, internal bleeding, or depression. This may result in asthma, high blood pressure, lung cancer, or diabetes. Thanks for watching.
Grace, I'm going to beat you up with 5 facts on the respiratory system.
I'm going to beat you on my 5 facts on the circulatory system.
Okay, go.
Well, the human heart contains 3 layers, the epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. They're basically tissues in the heart that line the outside of it or the inside of it to protect the heart.
Okay. There are 2 types of respiration, internal and external. Internal respiration is the intake of oxygen and the output of carbon dioxide waste. External respiration means the removal of oxygen from the outside environment for the spreading of cells and the excretion of carbon dioxide made by the cells back to the ecosystem.
Alright, well, the aorta is the largest artery in the body, and it's the main vessel that carries blood from the heart to the rest of the system. It is located at the left ventricle of the heart, and it's basically divided into sections that each have a different part in it.
Breathing becomes quicker and more rapid if the portion of oxygen in the blood is lowered. Nerves that send messages to a certain muscle to speed up the breathing process detect the lower amount of oxygen. The respiratory system is responsible for getting the right amount of oxygen in and the right amount of carbon dioxide out.
The capillaries are the smallest blood vessel in the body, where the blood cells can pass through only one at a time. These blood vessels bring nutrients to tissues in the body, and their thin walls allow materials to pass through them.
An alveoli is the actual exchange of gases takes place. A portion of the oxygen dissolves into the layer of moisture covering a part of the alveoli. Then it spreads into the blood in a capillary. Then it will go into the red blood cell and join with the parts of the hemoglobin at the same instance. A bit of carbon dioxide in the blood spreads to the alveoli where it can be breathed out.
There are 4 different kinds of blood types a human can have: A, B, AB, and O. Your blood type is determined in the blood cell if the blood cell has an A molecule or B molecule in it. If it has an A molecule, it's type A, the same thing for type B, and if it has a mixture of both molecules, it's type AB. If neither molecules have the blood cell, your blood type is called type O.
Although lungs are one of the key parts to the breathing process, they all complete other tasks. The lungs also help fight infections and help the immune system. Another functions the lungs perform is that they produce lipoproteins and other substances. They also kill off and destroy unwanted substances in the blood. Without the lungs and the respiratory system, the other systems might be struggling all by themselves.
Well, my last fact is the heart is made up of 4 chambers: the left ventricle,
This is my last fact. The nose, the preferred entrance, takes in air. The nasal spectum spits the nose into two openings, each of which opens with an entrance protected by skin. The passage contains bristly hairs, sweat glands, oil-producing glands, and olfactory areas. The respiratory region holds most of the septum and lateral walls of the nose. Its lining consists of goblet cells and auricular tissue. The goblet makes and gives off liquid mucus, made of big, thin, lined veins that are filled with blood. The erectile tissue heats up the air and passes by. The process allows air to be easier to be processed when it gets to the lungs. These events do not occur when inhaling through the mouth, so that's why the nose is the preferred air entrance.
Thank you. Hi, I'm filling in for Dr. Mogren. We're back with an interview of diabetes and high blood pressure. Diabetes and high blood pressure recently went on a vacation to the circulatory system. So, how was your visit, Diabetes?
It was great. I invaded a little boy named Bruce, gave him some of the me factor.
Nice. So, can you explain a little bit who you are?
So, I cause sugar not to be able to be processed in the bloodstream. It can't get out. And so it causes people to be fatigued, have weight loss, uncontrollable thirst and hunger.
So there's like the symptoms of
Yes.
it? Can you be treated or prevented or?
So sometimes there's two different types of me. I'm type 1 and my sister is type 2. For type 1, insulin isn't produced in the body, so they have to take an insulin shot. And for type 2, which is my sister, they take a pinching shot which takes their blood pressure.
Nice. So, does it go away ever?
It can go away, but occasionally it will stay. It will usually stay with you forever.
Nice. Thank you. Let's bring in high blood pressure now. Okay, so can you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm high blood pressure. I make your blood force against your arteries when your heart pumps it out. I will make your heart work faster, which makes it harder to pump blood to like the rest of the body and the rest of the systems. And I usually can lead to damaging the heart and the kidneys.
That's not good. So, can you be treated?
Well, to treat me, you cannot smoke. You should eat healthy, exercise, and limit your sodium intake. And usually I give off no symptoms except for like the occasional headache. And for you to find out if you have it, you have to wait until you go to the doctors and get your high blood pressure taken.
Nice. Thank you. Okay. We'll be back next time on Undercover Diseases with some even more deadly